Count by three.
1, 2, 3.
So there's a lot of content on YouTube. We love to love it, we love to hate it, and we love to talk about it.
Jake Paul's content is targeting fans far below the age of 12.
But we don't talk enough about the craft behind it. So that's what I want this to be. An exploration of the craft of YouTube. And it might seem kind of weird, but I don't think there's a better place to start than with Jenny Nicholson. See, Jenny Nicholson is a movie reviewer, best known for savaging the film franchises you love.
I felt like I was experiencing what it's like to watch the prequels when you're not like 7.
And savaging the film franchises no one loves.
Because now A Christmas Prince is a cinematic universe.
Sure, the form of her content, it's not complicated. I mean, every video, she's just sitting there on her bed like a boss, and it's amazing. But that's exactly why it's important to understand. It may be simple, but it's still damn quality. And it exemplifies the core of what I think being a YouTuber is all about. So I want to take a look into 3 basic aspects of her content to explore why they work for her and why they could work for you. And it only makes sense to start with the most important tool in a YouTuber's toolkit. Editing.
Like an hour later, Anna is with a client and Christian storms in with his full entourage, just like work.
Okay, as you can see, there's not much editing really going on. She doesn't even use any of the basic staples of YouTube editing. Zooms, meme inserts, sound effects, etc. Nah, she don't do it. But that's okay. Editing, it takes a lot of time, and YouTube is all about efficiency. The basic idea being that the more time we sink into editing, the less time we have to make new videos. And for a lot of people, the time put into editing is absolutely worth it, but for others, it can eat up time and energy and take away from what they really want to say. But that's not to say Jenny's got no editing, period. Take a look at this.
But also, all the men in this universe are mentally unstable weirdos. We have Christian,
yeah.
and I already went over his baggage. Then we have Anna's
that's good,
boss,
yeah.
Jack Hyde, whose name is very subtle. Jack smiles, he's...
I'm talking about jump cuts. Look, yeah, they're small, but important, because they cut out all of the empty fluff. No second takes, no fumbling with the script, no double checking to see if we're still recording. Instead, we get to cut straight to the good stuff.
Why did I get such a large spoon?
Just a spoonful of honey?
Ugh. Oh, I don't want this.
I hope it doesn't ruin the magic.
When you first try to record a video, it can seem really awkward, but you have to remember that after we put in jump cuts, a lot of that awkward vibe gets removed, primarily because of how jump cuts affect the energy of the content. Take a look at someone like Philip DeFranco. The cuts are fast, rapid, and quick. It's high energy and incredibly efficient. But could you imagine this kind of cutting with Jenny Nicholson? It just wouldn't be the same.
I didn't come here to watch an albino break dance. I'm here to see a man hit a lion with a chair, okay? Or whatever you do with the circus. The weirdest scene...
With Jenny Nicholson, we're not just there for her words, we're there for her. And when we cut too fast, we lose some of her quirks, her verbal tics, that conversational rhythm. Because sometimes, when we leave a little inefficiency in, a little personality sneaks out. And that's what we're here for, that personality. And this is the primary reason I'm not even sure extra editing would even help her channel. The lack of editing allows her to be her natural, dry humor, carefree self. And that's kinda dope. But we couldn't get this personality if it weren't for the power of Facecam. 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 You know it, you love it, and everyone uses it. Sure, we all know it's what you do. But why is it so effective? Spoiler alert, I've already answered this question, but before we explore further, let's back up.
Hold on.
See, video works through 3 separate mediums. Video, obviously, audio,
Oh, mama.
and language.
he had to take a breather for a little bit.
This language medium is really what our video is, what it's all about, but it can't work on its own. Generally, it gets conveyed through the audio.
My point is that the easier the game is, the less scary it is.
Although it can be conveyed through the video, or through both.
Okay, alright. I don't think that happens in football. I don't think someone just builds a brick wall on the pitch.
So a movie reviewer might go see a film, write up a script of their thoughts, and record it.
So I just saw the new Ari Aster film, Midsommar. And
But this leaves them with a lot of empty video. Even though the audio is really all of what the reviewer wants to say, the lack of visual interest can lead to people getting bored and clicking off. So, to solve this problem, they edit in clips from the movie with mild ties to what they're talking about at the time.
One of my favorite aspects of this film was the character dynamic between her and her boyfriend. The way it was written and performed was very respectful.
This is fine, but it can be time-consuming depending on how relevant you want the clips to be. And we've got another option. An option that's really, really easy.
Hi, sisters! Holy shit, it's Leafy!
That's how this episode's gonna be.
Hey!
It's okay, Mubble. You're still alive, Mubble.
Facecam allows us to solve the problem of visual interest at the same time that we're recording, which saves us a lot of work. And that alone makes Facecam an excellent choice. But its dopeness doesn't stop there, because when we don't have Facecam, it feels like radio. Like you're talking on the phone with someone. But here,
I have my official Ollivander's wand. This is birch. It's actually resin. I hope that doesn't matter.
It's like having a conversation face to face. It's more intimate, more personal. You're not just associates, but friends. Parasocially. Because when you can see someone, you can pick up all these visual cues, body language, eye movement, hand gestures, and it all builds into creating a more textured communication than audio alone. And some of this extends even into the background. Jenny Nicholson sitting on her bed surrounded by porgs feels a lot different than if she were sitting at a desk with movies behind her. This wouldn't be wrong, but this one? It just feels right. So, to sum up Facecam's power, we've got 3 things to remember. 1. Facecam solves our problem of visual interest at a super low effort, and less effort needed means more videos produced. 2. Facecam is very social, creating a more intimate connection with the viewers, which is arguably the most important aspect of being a YouTuber. And last, but maybe least, when using Facecam, even the background can add detail to your personality without even needing a single word. So yeah, Facecam. It's cool. It's pretty cool. However, it is true that Facecam can be scary, and yeah, it's perfectly possible to build a channel without it and still be successful. But I think it's important to understand what Facecam accomplishes before making a decision on whether or not it's right for you. But now, let's do a quadruple backflip and talk about structure. Now, structure is so important. Just like your 5-paragraph essays, your videos need structure. I mean, listen to every frame of painting.
So you want to structure and pace them like a filmmaker would. Therefore and but. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
I mean, you can't have your audience getting bored, so let's take a look at how Jenny Nicholson handles structure.
Oh, and I superficially organize my points into a numbered list, because when you make a really long video, you need to have like a list for people to hold their interest.
Okay, maybe structure's not that important. She's not constructing some incredible work. She's just putting her thoughts out there.
Lois Lane shouldn't be the only person that can bring him back from a murderous rampage like he's the Incredible Hulk or something.
Just point by point, whatever her thoughts are. So, as far as structure is concerned for essayists, like lessons from the screenplay or nerdwriter, sure, structure can be effective. But for someone like Jenny, meh. And since she doesn't need structure, she doesn't need a script. She can just work off of some notes, which allows her to be much more natural and carefree. See, working from a script, it can make you sound weird and different from how you'd speak normally. Your diction's different, the syntax can get kinda long, your cadence can be off, and you can be more verbose than you'd be in reality. Which can be fine, but sometimes it's not what we want. Because a lot of the time, as creators, we don't want to be academics talking down to our audience. We just want to be like friends, just chilling and laughing and talking about whatever interests us. And that's what I love most about Jenny Nicholson. No part of her content screams that she's here for the money or success or the fame. There's little to no editing, no memes, no sound effects, no structure, just pure Jenny Nicholson. And that's exactly why she's so successful. Modern YouTube is full of incredibly talented, hardworking creators that love to go above and beyond, and I have mad respect for them. But it can be easy to look at some of these channels and think, I could never do that. And I think it's really important to remember that you don't have to. Because what Jenny Nicholson teaches us is that the most important thing you have, it's not your editing, it's not your script, and it's not even what you have to say. The most important thing you'll ever have is you.
So I know that I'm prone to hyperbole, but Escape from Tomorrow is the most dumb, stupid, horrible, inane, awful, ugly movie I've ever seen.